Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, respected colleagues and students. A very good morning and warm welcome to you all. On behalf of Bangladesh Biosafety and Biosecurity Society, it is our great honor to host the BBBS Annual Biorisk Conference 2025 at ICDDRB. This year's theme brings together some of the most critical public health priorities: containment of antimicrobial resistance (AMR), biohazardous waste management, biosafety, biosecurity, and advances in biotechnology. Today, as we gather here with distinguished participants from diverse fields, we affirm our shared commitment to fostering a safe, scientific ecosystem. Now, I would like to request Ishrat Jahan to moderate the opening ceremony. Thank you.
A very good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bangladesh Biosafety Biosecurity Society Annual Biorisk Management Conference 2025. Throughout the day, we will explore multidisciplinary approaches ranging from medical waste management to infectious prevention, emerging pathogens, One Health surveillance, artificial intelligence in biosafety, and environmental biohazards. Before we begin our session, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to BBBS leadership, our partners and contributors who work tirelessly to make this conference possible. Now we proceed with the opening ceremony. And may I kindly request our Executive Director, Dr. Tahmid Ahmed, to accompany our distinguished guest to the podium. Our Chief Guest, Professor Dr. SMA Faiz, our special guest, Dr. Fahmida Khanum, who could not join us today due to unavoidable circumstances. On behalf of her, Dr. Muhammad Saifur Rahman, and our special guest, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahidul Alam, who will be joining us online, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahidul Islam, and our conference chair, Professor Dr. Atiyar Rahman. Now I request our volunteers to welcome our distinguished guests with flowers. To begin, it is our great honor to invite the Executive Director of ICDDRB and a visionary public health leader and a global expert in child nutrition and infectious disease, Dr. Tahmid Ahmed, to deliver the welcome address.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. Distinguished Chief Guest of today's event, Professor SMA Faiz, and sitting on the dais, special guests, Dr. Muhammad Saifur Rahman, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Environment. Also sitting on the dais, Professor Dr. Muhammad Atiyar Rahman, Vice Chancellor of Rangamati Science and Technology University, and who is also the chair of this conference on Biorisk and biosafety. And distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, good morning. I was just speaking with the Honorable Chief Guest that from my very young days, I was a great admirer of him. And you will agree with me that here we have a very distinguished educationist of the country who has been one of the most successful vice chancellors of Dhaka University. And we are very fortunate that today we have him amongst us. So that gives a moment of privilege for us, and I think for this conference that we are having today. So thank you very much, distinguished Chief Guest, for gracing this occasion. Since many of you have not been to this place, at least to this auditorium, I would like to tell you very briefly about some of the things that ICDDRP is doing. You know, this is the place where the most important global health intervention was researched and developed, and that's the oral rehydration salt solution, ORS. That was developed here, right here in Mahakali, across the street in the IPH building, where the government of the then Pakistan gave Cholera Research Laboratory a place to do the research and to erect a tent where patients were brought from Sadar Ghat and other areas for the treatment of cholera. That is how the research on ORS developed. And today, as I speak to you, several things have happened. The prevalence of diarrhea, when I started my career as a doctor taking care of patients about 40 years ago here, downstairs in the hospital, at that time, every year 4.5 million children used to die. 4.5 million. And today, only 400,000. Just imagine. Over 30, 40 years, this has been the reduction in diarrhea morbidity. And this has happened largely because of ORS. And today, the WHO has estimated that ORS has saved so far 70 million lives. Another thing happened, which is zinc as part of treatment of diarrhea. Again, most of the research in the world was done here at ICDTRP, in Dhaka and in Matla. And the results of the research showed that if you give zinc for 10 days to a child who has a diarrhea, not only will the severity of diarrhea reduce, the child is going to live longer. Death rates are going to come down. Because of this, both WHO and UNICEF, they have now made worldwide recommendations that for any child with diarrhea, 2 things you need to give. One is ORS sachets and the other is 10 tablets of zinc. So that's what we call, distinguished chief guest, impact. This impact was done in the 1960s, and then the zinc was done about 20 years ago. During this period, ICDDRP scientists, many of them are sitting in this audience, they have done huge amount of work that have had impact not only in Bangladesh but also worldwide. One is the treatment of severe pneumonia. Nowadays, because of ORS and zinc and other things, diarrhea is no longer the #1 killer of children. The #1 killer of children today is severe pneumonia. And our scientists have developed a very innovative, simple, cost-effective method of treating severe pneumonia in children. How to give in the oxygen. This acts like a simple ventilator, and this is called the bubble CPAP. Our scientists have replicated this in Ethiopia in 12 hospitals, and now this work is being done in 2 district hospitals in Bangladesh, as well as in hospitals in Ethiopia, Nigeria, and Malawi. So this is the impact. Recently, you have seen several vaccines that have been placed at the forefront. One of them is the typhoid conjugate vaccine. And again, before this got embraced and endorsed by the government of Bangladesh, the initial research was done at ICDDRP, the efficacy of this vaccine. Okay. So again, this is the kind of impact. So today, our scientists, they publish more than 500 papers in international journals. So 400. If you ask me, I can't think of any organization, particularly based in the global south, that has such a track record. And these 500 papers, most of them, almost all of them, are drafted, revised, and published by Bangladeshi scientists. Many of them happen to be very young, very junior, but they are doing it. They are coming from different universities of the country, from different medical colleges. They join as a junior researcher, as an assistant, but gradually they climb up the ladder. That is one of the things that we very proudly say that we are doing the right thing for improving the capacity of Bangladeshi researchers in Bangladesh. So the impact, recently we have decided that we are going to publish. That's good. If you don't publish, people don't know you. Okay? But simply having something published is not enough. You need to have an impact. You need to go out and reach the people. So our motto today is take science where it is actually needed, at the doorsteps of the population. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, so that was a very brief overview that I thought that I should tell you. But today we are gathered here for another purpose, and that is the annual conference of the Bangladesh Biosafety and Biosecurity Society. And I don't have to tell you, Asad gave me a speech to read, and that speech contained all the things about biosafety and biosecurity. I thought that I don't need to carry coal to Newcastle. You already know very much more than I do. If you just step out of your house, you will realize how much or how little we are doing in this area. The garbage and everything is littered everywhere. If you take a ride to Gazipur, you will see on both sides of the so-called highway heaps of garbage. This is not just garbage. Everything is there. All the garbage, all the biohazardous material, all the material, disposed material from clinics and hospitals, they are being dumped there. So that is biohazard. So we know that, and we have seen on television, you have heard from newspapers about what's happening to the disposal of these type of wastes from hospitals. So there have been some attempts to improve the situation, but you will all agree with me, there's so much to do. Because if we don't do this, this is a small country with a huge population. And you can imagine what is going to happen by 2050 when the population of Bangladesh will surpass 250 million. Certainly then, and of course now, the importance of taking measures for biosafety and biosecurity cannot be overemphasized. With that, I welcome you to ICDDRB. I welcome you to this conference, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. May I now request our conference chair, Dr. Atiyar Rahman, to present a quest to Dr. Tahmid to honor his presence. Next, it is our pleasure to invite Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahidul Islam, Director of the International Desk, Bangladesh Agricultural University, and founding General Body Member of BBBS, to deliver an introductory address on biosafety and biosecurity in Bangladesh.
Respected Chair of the Conference, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Science and Technology University, Professor Dr. Muhammad Atiyar Rahman, our Chief Guest, Honorable Chairman, University Grants Commission of Bangladesh, Professor Dr. Ismail Faiz, Sir, Special Guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Bangladesh Medical University, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahinul Alam. He is supposed to be present as special guest here, and also Joint Secretary respected Joint Secretary Mr. Saifur Rahman, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, chairs, co-chairs of different technical session of the conference, and also keynote speakers, invited speakers, presenter participants, volunteers, print and electronic media personnel. Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. I am really happy to participate in this BBS Annual Biorisk Conference 2025. Indeed, it's my great privilege to tell briefly the success story of Bangladesh Biosafety Society. We say it's BBBS. BBBS started its journey in November 2011. The society was formed under a small project of ICT to disseminate knowledge and science of biosafety and biosecurity all over Bangladesh, with the first life member, Professor Dr. Binodon. He is present here. Currently, the society has 377 life members, 213 general members, and 217 student members. Initiating the activities based on the ICSDRB, little by little, the society expanded its activities all over Bangladesh, strengthening biosecurity in the country. Notably, BBS contributed to integrating biosafety and biosecurity in academic curriculum initiating at Bangladesh Medical University in 2011-12 session, and currently in many universities, our research persons are teaching biosafety and biosecurity. Most of these research persons are trained through TOT program organized in 2015, 16, 17, 18, 2020, 22, and 2024 by ICT-DRB using the platform of BBBS. And currently we have 275 resource persons in the country distributed in different divisions. It is worth mentioning that these resource persons are waiting to contribute to the nation's emergency, and they substantially contributed in COVID-19 pandemic control. We still remember those days. We were organizing every Friday biosafety and biosecurity counseling program for all the laboratories testing COVID. This society also contributed initiating safe and secured packaging of biohazardous waste materials organized by ICT-DRB, and those materials were distributed all over Bangladesh during COVID-19 situation through the DGHS. I can recall we also organized an online conference during COVID-19, and money collected through this conference we spent on distributing these packaging materials through DGHS. So far, BBBS has organized around 100 of training, workshops, seminars with support from those resource persons developed by the society, and trained more than 10,000 researchers, faculties, and students. Moreover, many of you have known that ICT-DRB has successfully contributed developing microbiology laboratories in animal, human, fisheries, and environmental health sectors through Fleming Fund Country Grant of Bangladesh. And one of the key activities, the baseline assessment of laboratories, was conducted by the BBS resource persons under different divisions at the beginning of its first phase. So far I know, even in the COVID-19 situation and at the beginning of the second phase as well. So lastly, I would like to stress that BBS is committed to disseminate knowledge and science of biosafety and biosecurity in such a manner in future, and we thank ICT-DRB for its enormous support and overall contribution. This is all about from my side. Thank you all for patient hearing.
Thank you, Professor Shahidul Islam, for telling us the journey of BBBS. Now we invite our special guest, Dr. Muhammad Saifur Rahman, Joint Secretary of Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change.
Very good morning. Assalamu alaikum. It's my immense pleasure and I'm privileged that I am here. And thank you very much for inviting Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Climate Change. And on behalf of Ministry, I am very pleased to be here and to say some few words about this program. Honorable Chief Guest, Chairman, University Grants Commission, Bangladesh, Professor Dr. S.M.A. Fayaz. Special Guest, Vice Chancellor, Bangladesh Medical University, Professor Dr. Mohammad Shahinul Alam. Conference Chair, Vice Chancellor, Rangamati Science and Technology University, Professor Dr. M.D. Atiya Rahman. And the program host, Executive Director of ICCPRB, Dr. Amil Ahmed. So at the very outset, I would like to begin by mentioning my little experience. So while I was doing my PhD in University of Göttingen in Germany, that time my professor, I have learned a theoretical framework, that one concept from him, that is called RIU model, R-I-U, that means R for research, I for integration, and U for utilization. So it means that, of course, we need to do a lot of quality research, but what happens that research is sometimes not rightly integrated into the policy making. And sometimes it is integrating with the policy, but again, we don't know how to utilize it at the local level or the community level. So who are the really beneficiaries of this research? So this integration at the policy level as well as at the field level or the community level, this utilization is very much important. So with that perspective, I think today's event, this type of dissemination event, I would say, this is very effective, and ICCPRB is doing the right things, I would say. Actually, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change plays a crucial role in safeguarding the environment. Its primary responsibilities including policy making, then regulating and enforcement, monitoring and compliance, as well as awareness building. So overall, this ministry is essential for maintaining the quality of the entire biosphere and promoting a healthier environment for humans, animals, and all other life forms. Accordingly, the pertinent departments of this ministry are instrumental in developing and updating the relevant rules, guidelines, and frameworks. For example, Biosafety Guidelines of Bangladesh was first published in 2008, which entered in a review process in 2018. Environmental Conservation Rules was first published in 1997, that was revised very recently in 2023. Medical Waste Management Rules was first published in 2008, and then the rules are now in revision, and 2024 draft revision is waiting to be finalized. Although we have many good policies, but research says that we have a greater lack of implementation. So we have policies, but sometimes we lack good strategies. Sometimes we have good strategies, but we have lack the implementation means or implementation tools, right type of tools. For example, we have lack of finance sometimes. Maybe we have finance, but not mobilized in the right direction or in the right places, in the right area. For example, we are talking about too much about climate change, but maybe the finance is less analyzed in this biosecurity, this biosafety, the biodiversity improvement in this area. So right type of finance and amount is necessary. Then the second aspect is another important instrument is information and knowledge. That's why we are here. So we have great lack of this connection, actually, this generating knowledge and information as well as this knowledge management. So that's why this type of event is very much useful. And of course, for implementing this type of biosafety, biosecurity and waste management, then we need a greater understanding and awareness about this issue from the top to bottom level, from the policy level to community level, and also as well as at the academy level. So the next important aspect, I think, we should think in a nexus way. So we need to think in a holistic approach, because we have nowadays many important issues like climate change, biodiversity degradation, and pollution in all forms. So if we think these issues, these biosafety, biorisk, in an integrated way, considering also the climate change, biodiversity, and also pollution, then I think that would be much useful if we think it's in an integrated way. Otherwise, if we think in an isolated way, then it is difficult to address all of those issues. And also the coherence in policy aspect, coherence in policy, that different sector has different issues, policies, and so on. So, for example, in this biosafety, biosecurity, and waste management issue, a lot of agencies are involved, like Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Livestock, as well as a lot of non-government organization, private sector, civil society are involved with these issues. That's why right type of cooperation and collective action is necessary. So that is essential, and also consistency in operation and also scaling up of these issues is very much important. So I am indeed happy to know that Bangladesh Biosafety and Biosecurity Society is also working to strengthen the national capacity following applicable national and international guidelines and standards. We understand that ICDDRB and a few other organizations are trying their best to comply with applicable guidelines and standards in Bangladesh. However, altogether we can prove our national excellence, and we need to work together in that direction. Here a society like BBBS can play a critical and vital role. I would like to congratulate the organizing bodies for planning such an event, and I hope a successful end of this day-long program with expected outcomes. The day-long program covering important topics like optimizing medical waste management, control of spread of infectious diseases, One Health program, artificial intelligence, and biosecurity. All of these topics are so much important and very timely to discuss. We need to organize more and more of such events with a specific focus for filling the gaps and creating awareness for our better and brighter future. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Saifur Rahman, for your remarks. We now request our second special guest, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahinul Alam, Vice Chancellor, Bangladesh Medical University, to deliver his address online. Unfortunately, due to some technical issue, the video is not available. So, sir, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Honorable President or Chairman of this session, and respected Chief Guest, the UGC Chairman, Professor Faiz Sir, respected special guest, distinguished faculties, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I am very sorry that I am not available in person. I am serving through the Zoom. I am very much delighted to know that Biosafety Office of ICDDRB and Bangladesh Biosafety Biosecurity Society, that is BBBS, are jointly organizing the annual Biorisk Conference 2025 at ICDDRB. The theme of this conference is containment of antimicrobial resistance biohazard waste management, biosafety, biosecurity and biotechnology. It is with great pleasure and profound sense of purpose that I welcome you all this significant gathering. This timely conference brings together scholars, researchers, experts, policymakers who share a unified commitment to shaping a resilient and sustainable future through scientific innovation, strategic collaboration, and strengthening biosafety, biosecurity, and waste management in practice. In an era of characterized by global health challenges, emerging infectious threats, antimicrobial resistance, environmental change, and growing food security concern, integration of bioscience, biosafety, biosecurity has never been more vital. Therefore, the theme of this year's conference could not be more than appropriate. This interconnected field holds the key not only to advancing modern healthcare and agricultural system, but also to safeguarding the theme against present and future risks. The conference provides a dynamic platform for exploring the cutting-edge research, innovation, technology, transformative policies that can collectively address the multifaceted demands of sustainability. It is only through interdisciplinary and cross-sectoral partnership that we can develop practical, ethical, and future-oriented solutions. Conferences such as the true meeting of minds with shared interests will play a crucial role in allowing experts and researchers to share and discuss few findings, exchange ideas and insights, and build networks that inspire meaningful collaboration. As because, at the present status of the country, containment of antimicrobial resistance, biohazardous waste management, biosafety, biosecurity, and biotechnology, in all these aspects, we are far behind the expectation. Even we are far behind the standard. So we will have to make a role model facilities, role model policies, role model implementation that everyone can regenerate this in their institution. This combination of BBBS, Bangladesh Medical University, ICDDRB, and the government and the NGOs, if we can work together, we can make the standard practice and policies. On behalf of Bangladesh Medical University, I would like to invite you all to continue the collaboration with the medical university regarding the research, regarding the policy making, and regarding the future implementation in the perspective of containment of antimicrobial resistance and biohazardous waste disposal. I extend my sincere gratitude to all organizers, speakers and delegates for your dedication, contribution and commitment to this important discourse. I wish the conference resounding the success and hope it paves the way for innovation, solution and a stronger collaboration in the years ahead. Thank you all. Thank you everybody.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful remarks. Now, it is our profound honor to invite the chief guest, Professor Dr. S.M. Faiz, Chairman of the University Grant Commission, Bangladesh, to deliver his keynote remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chair of the session, and we have here a distinguished Executive Director of the ICDDLB and a special guest, Honorable Joint Secretary of the Ministry, and in front of me, so many distinguished personalities. And my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Well, it is indeed a great pleasure, an honor, a great honor indeed, to be present here in this very important conference. We have already heard about the importance of this place as described by the Honorable Executive Director of ICDDLB, because this is this place where ORS, Jing came up so importantly throughout the world. Let us join all of you here to congratulate ICDDLB for their great success.
Make your computer easier to use. Windows will read it.
And to tell about this very important topic, very important aspect that is taking place today is not only beyond my capacity. And if I try to speak much about it, I'm afraid this might make an insipid plate. So I suggest to mention about some general aspects that is in front of me in the form of topic points. Antimicrobial resistance, the long-lasting pandemic containing the spread of resistant microbes are of real concerns today. Another area of great importance is proper management of biohazardous waste produced in healthcare facilities and research organizations. I'm indeed deeply happy to know that 2025 BBBS annual conference is focusing on all these important areas with an intention to fully implement biosafety and biosecurity policies, procedures and guidelines in the entire area of biotechnology. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the concerned body for formulating biosafety, biosecurity and medical waste management rules, guidelines and acts. On the other hand, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Science and Technology must follow the rules and regulations in healthcare, microbiological and biomedical research and diagnostics. Thus, it is absolutely necessary for the different stakeholders, including the researchers, the policymakers, to work together with the same ultimate goal, healthier life and better future. I also understand that BBS is a forum encompassing the entire One Health that provides a collaborative approach, recognizing human, animal and environmental health as one identity. Thus, the society can play a significant role in the control of the spread of infectious diseases. And AMR as well as both are the One Health issue. I believe that the day-long event today will focus discussing those issues, particularly medical waste management. That is one area where we need greater attention. And now what University Grants Commission can do from its side. We have, some of you must be knowing about it, that we have a project called Higher Education Acceleration and Transformation Project, funded by the Government of Bangladesh and the World Bank. So the second call will take place very soon. I believe that some very important proposals will come from this organization so that this is for the betterment of the society, betterment of the country, betterment of the community. And I also take this privilege to mention about one very important conference that will be held during 12, 13, 14, 15 January this year. The SARC Higher Education Conference that will be taking place in Meridian. And we need to focus, we need to showcase the significant achievements that has taken place in Bangladesh to the outside world. I know that ICT needs no introduction. There's so much known to the world today. But since we want to increase the importance and we will emphasize on the significance of this conference that we will be holding in January, I shall very humbly request ICT Executive Director to participate in that very conference and showcase what Bangladesh has done to the Western world. And with these few words, I thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you all. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful talk. May I now request Dr. Tahmid Ahmed to present a request to Professor Dr. S.M.A. Fayez to honor his presence. Now may we invite the conference chair, Professor Dr. Atiyar Rahman, Vice Chancellor, Rangamati Science and Technology University, to share his address and deliver vote of thanks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chief Guest of today's session, Professor Dr. Esmin Faiz, Honorable Chair of the Universal Grants Commission, Bangladesh. Our special guest, Dr. Tahmid Ahmed, a very legendary scientist, and today's distinguished guest, Executive Director of ICT-DRB Bangladesh. Special guest on board, connected through Zoom, Professor Dr. Shahin Alam, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bangladesh Medical University. It would be good to have him physically. Well, he had a very urgency and emergency to go to Singapore. Dr. Saifur Rahman, Honorable Joint Secretary of Bangladesh Ministry of Forest, Environment and Climate Change. Distinguished scientists, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. It's indeed our immense pleasure and great enthusiasm to have all such distinguished personalities, scientists, researchers from home and abroad to join us to make this event very successful. It's indeed the time to show the heartfelt gratitude from the society, BBBS, Bangladesh Biosafety and Biosecurity Society. We are truly very happy to get you connected by our invitation to this annual Biorisk conference. Ladies and gentlemen, since the inception of BBBS, with very special effort of Dr. Asadul Ghani and his great team, he loves to always be behind the scene. Today, still, he is at the back of the stage. BBBS has been greatly working in a very steadfast through its mission to promote the excellence in biosafety and biosecurity across the country and beyond. As we gather today under the theme of the containment of AMR, biohazardous waste management, biosafety, biosecurity, and biotechnology, we not only reflect our shared journey throughout this whole 15 years, but we reaffirm our collective commitment to advancing a safe and secured laboratory practices in context of biosecurity and biosafety in an ever-evolving approach of academic upliftment. Our very valuable guests and distinguished scientists, ladies and gentlemen, once again, apart from the COVID-19 journey of the resource persons of Bangladesh Biosafety Biosecurity Society produced around 98 people. They dedicated to spread out the COVID-19 time. Not only that, since that time, our resource persons are embodying to assess the biorisk approaches in different medical hospitals, clinics, and diagnostics, as well as academic laboratories. We must thank and congratulate all of our resource persons. As the society is appreciably increasing in its efforts and endeavors day by day, we do believe that this is time to urge to the Ministry of Forest, Environment and Climate, as well as University Grants Commission, to incorporate a holistic approaches in our academia and our curriculum, as well as the efforts from the ministry how we can get all these things very much closely connected with the society. How the people could be very much concerned, they could be aware of biosafety and biosecurity. We can't guarantee that COVID-19 like emerging and re-emerging if events are not coming once again. Therefore, this is a big challenges, and I do believe that we need to have a very resilient approaches with our cooperation, our participation, scientific movement, interactions, and after all, our holistic commitment to get ourselves aparted and rescued from emerging and re-emerging diseases. Before concluding, I must thank all the scientists, distinguished researchers to be with us, to make this journey very pleasant for us, to work with scientists, students, academics. We love to say that in our 15 years, probably we became able to incorporate some curriculum in some of the universities in the academy. This is a great achievement of Bangladesh Biosafety and Biosecurity Society. Still, I do believe that in front of us, many valuable personalities that do have the authority to incorporate the biosafety and biosecurity policy guidelines as well as introduction to biohazardous issues, waste management, biosecurity policies in the academia and in our universities. I do hope and I will appeal, it will be our earnest appeal to our Honorable Chair of University Grants Commission to make fostering approaches to our Honorable Vice Chancellors, how they can get these things truly significant for the academia. Well, on behalf of the organizing committee, I must thank and I'm very much grateful to your presence to this conference to make it successful. I'm truly honored to have you, to see you to present in this very auspicious moment. Hopefully, the organizing committee members, our volunteers and sponsors, very particularly ICDDRB, hosted this conference. We are truly grateful. We must not forget to show our utmost gratitude to the people who came from a long journey, even if see people from Dinajpur. It's amazing. It's a great reflection of the commitment and aspiration, how they are loving to see themselves in this platform. Again, salute for you all people. I'm again thanking our distinguished guests. Thank you so much. We are truly honored. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Dr. Rahman, for your motivational remarks. May I now request Dr. Tahmid Ahmed to present a crest to Dr. Rahman to honor his participation. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our opening ceremony. We now invite you all to join us for morning tea at the green zone of ICDDRB. Our volunteers will guide you to there. Our poster presentation session and the idea contest will begin right after the tea and in the courtyard, and parallel technical session will begin at 10:30 a.m. in the designated venue. And thank you everyone, and we look forward to an engaging and impactful day ahead. Thank you.